everyone, and welcome to the Daily Dish. I'm your host, Kathy Rankin, and I'm joined in the studio today by Kelly Sunshine. She is a doula, and we've been talking to her all week about some great information for people out there who are interested in having a doula as part of their birthing and labor process. And we talked last time about a trend in the whole labor and delivery world, which was the cord clamping and how you can delay it. But there's another trend, and we're going to end this week on an interesting note, and that is placenta encapsulation. Explain what that is and how people have even come up with this idea.
Well, placenta encapsulation is taking the mom's placenta and turning it into some form. There's several different ways to do it, to ingest it. So it has been going on for centuries. We are the only mammal that doesn't consume our placenta. And, you know, people will argue with that as to, well, we're smarter and we know better, but there are absolutely amazing benefits with what is within the placenta.
So what are the benefits for the mother to ingest basically her own placenta? I mean, it sounds crazy when you talk about it, and I'm sure you get this reaction all the time. So how do you explain it to people so that they don't feel just completely turned off by this idea?
The benefits are, one of the main benefits is that it helps fight postpartum depression. So the placenta is full of oxytocin, and oxytocin is a chemical in our body that we produce when, say, it's kind of the feel-good drug. So by putting that back into your body after birth, it helps fight that. So moms that are suffering from baby blues, it really does make a difference. I've talked to a lot of moms who didn't do this with their first baby, who have chosen to do it with their second, and have felt completely different afterwards.
Well, and that's huge. I mean, I didn't know that, and right away that does change your perception, because we know how serious postpartum depression can be. I mean, it can lead to some really bad things if a woman gets too far down into that depression. So what are are there health benefits otherwise to the
Absolutely.
mother?
So your placenta also has several different hormones in it as well that helps produce your milk, milk production. So by taking it, it helps bring your milk in faster, it helps your milk supply. And oftentimes I've had moms taking it who then start producing so much milk they have to back down a little bit on how many capsules they're taking a day. It helps to speed up recovery, it helps with fatigue, and just overall general health.
What are the actual forms that you would ingest your own placenta?
The most popular form is capsules. And so we take the placenta, and there's two different ways to prepare it. There's a raw method, and then there's a Chinese traditional medicine way. And I won't get into the details of all that. That's on my website as well.
Okay.
You can read about it, and you can just Google it and you'll find lots of information. And once you decide which method you're going to do, then the placenta is sliced into very small thin pieces, and it's dehydrated until it almost is like beef jerky. And once it's dehydrated, then it's put into a form of a blender or something to grind it, and it's basically a powder form at that point. And then you encapsulate it into gelatin capsules for the mom. So it's just like a vitamin to her, and it's not so you know,
intimidating.
Yeah, when they get it, then they look at it and they go, okay, I can do this. Because, you know, the thought of what they're doing sometimes can gross them out a little bit.
Out. Yeah, so I would think this would be something that, like, Alicia Silverstone or somebody like that in Hollywood, you hear about these moms that are very vegan and they're doing the regurgitation, which I think we talked about on an episode of Daily Dish. But I would think this was something that maybe like Hollywood would grasp first, just because they're so, you know, kind of on the trend with things. But you're seeing more people in your practice do this.
Absolutely, yeah. And then another form that, I mean, you can go as extreme as right after the baby's born and the placenta comes out, taking a piece of it and actually turning it into a fruit smoothie. That's a little bit extreme.
It's a little much for me.
Yeah, I'm not seeing much of that, but that is an option. You can also make a tincture, which is an alcohol tincture liquid form. And the tincture is a great benefit because it can last forever. And so say mom, when she's in menopause, still has a tincture, she can actually use that. She's got her own hormones instead of doing a hormone therapy and a synthetic hormone. She actually has her own hormone that was produced in her body specifically for her. And she can use that then to help fight that. It also can help with PMS down the road when we're having those kind of crazy periods or things like that. So.
Well, you know, it sounds crazy when you first hear about it, but the more you talk about it, the more it seems like it could have a lot of benefits for women's health, not just through pregnancy. And you know, we saw other things become much more commonplace with hormone replacement. I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more about things like this as well. So Kelly, thank you so much for joining us all week. We've had a great time talking to you. Really great information for everybody out there, and I hope that you can use some of it to make your decision in your pregnancy. We'll see you guys again on the next Daily Dish.